El Paso, the first competition of the night is JCB Racing. All 12 trucks have been seeded into the bracket based on their first race pass time from our last event in Arlington, with the fastest 4 trucks having received an automatic bye into round 2. Coming up first, 8 trucks will race head-to-head with the 4 winners advancing into round 2. So El Paso, who's ready for Monster Jam Racing? So El Paso, we're about to set the tone here. And as you see in our first competition, taking a look at the bracket as we go ahead and look through the bracket real quick before we get this thing started. You see Gravedigger will be taking on Monster Mutt as they are set there on the pod. After that, Avenger and Velociraptor. Then you have Soldier Fortune, El Toro Loco. And then, of course, your fourth competition in the first round of Monster Jam Racing is Zombie and Megalodon. And in round 2, your 4 fastest times are already set, so they had a bye round already. That is Bakugan, Dragonoid, Thunder Roarus, Son of a Digger, and Vendetta. Now, in this competition, we have 12 of the fastest drivers. And to make sure that we are keeping track, well, we have our Fast Links camera system set up that goes down to 1/1000th of a second. That is the same thing used at the Kentucky Derby and all races around the world, including the Grand Prix. So, as we go through these competitions, rest assured that we're going down to as close as we can be. In the red lane, Chris Kohler, Monster Mutt. And in the gray lane, Charlie Pocken, Gravedigger. Your first competition of the night, El Paso, as they get ready to get set. This is Charlie Pocken's second race of the season. Now after that, this is the 21st race for Chris Kohler and Monster Mutt, and their first matchup between these two as they're getting ready to face off and set the tone in El Paso. Round 17, the University of Texas El Paso Sun Bowl, and we're taking over with Monster Jam as you hear those engines rev and the lights turn yellow. Then they go green! And your winner, Charlie Pocken, Gravedigger. Charlie Pocken, Gravedigger will be moving on to the second round where they will face off against Camden Murphy, Bakugan, Dragonoid. And you see there on the track, 18.521 is the official time for Gravedigger. In the red lane, Caleb Blood, Soldier Fortune. And in the gray lane, Joe Foley, El Toro Loco. The second competition of the night. This is the 22nd race for Caleb Blood, Soldier Fortune, and the 20th race for Joe Foley, El Toro Loco, and their first matchup of the series as they get ready and move into the second competition. Now, as I said, this is one of the driver's favorite stops, El Paso, so we need to make sure that we are bringing the energy all the way through. So anytime you hear me say this is, you say Monster Jam. This is! One more time. This is Let's Go Green! And your winner, Caleb Blood, Soldier Fortune. Caleb Blood, Soldier Fortune will be moving on to face off against Ryan Anderson, Son of a Digger, in round 2. In the red lane, Bari Musauer, Zombie. In the gray lane, Corey Rummel, Megalodon. The matchup between the 5th highest and 6th highest winning percentage. Let's go! And your winner, Corey Rummel, Megalodon. Megalodon will be moving on to round 2 to face off against Vendetta. Let's take a look at the JCB Racing Competition bracket breakdown. Gravedigger moves on to the second round of face-off against Bakugan Dragonoid. After that, Avenger and Velociraptor. Velociraptor unfortunately ran into some issues there. Of course, we have Lindsay Reed, who will keep you updated on everything happening behind the scenes, and hopefully we get an update on Velociraptor. That is David Olford. Avenger automatically moves on to face off against Thunder Roars, Colt Stevenson, and Avenger facing off. After that, you saw Soldier Fortune moving on to face off against Ryan Anderson, Son of a Digger. And then finally, you have Zombie taking down Megalodon, the 5th and 6th highest winning percentage on the series. And moving on to face off against Mike Christensen, Vendetta taking on Megalodon in the second round of Monster Jam.
El Paso, welcome to round 2 of JCB Racing, where we have the 4 winners of the last round 1 are now going to go up against the 4 racers that got an automatic bye into this round. And after that, we will end up with the next 4 in our way to look for the first 12 points to be awarded in this competition. So El Paso, who's ready for more JCB Racing?
Charlie Parkin, Gravedigger. And in the gray lane, Camden Murphy, Bakugan Dragonoid. We are now in the second round of competition. Who will be moving on to the semifinals? Charlie Parkin, Gravedigger, or Camden Murphy, Bakugan Dragonoid? Now, this is their second matchup on the series as they move to the line. Here we go! We had ourselves a close one, taking a look at the super glued to the action replay coming down there to the very last jump and turn. They're looking at the timing system in the back and waiting to get the word. Who is moving on? Bakugan Dragonoid or Gravedigger? And your winner, Charlie Parkin, Gravedigger. The official time for Charlie Pock and Gravedigger, 18.783. He's moving on to the semifinals. In the red lane, Jim Kohler, Avenger. In the gray lane, Colt Stevens, Thunder Roars. Your second matchup of the semifinals between these two juggernauts in the sport as it gets set at the line. Here we go! And your winner, Colt Stevens, Thunder Roars. Your official time for Thunder Roars, 18.717. Moving on to the semifinals. Kayla Blood, Soldier Fortune. And in the gray lane, Ryan Anderson, Son of a Digger. Ryan Anderson has the highest winning percentage in JCB racing. Here we go. We had ourselves another close competition. Take a look at this, El Paso. The super glued to the action replay. Of course, we have them behind the scenes looking at the official times. Who will be moving on? Waiting for that official call. You see they're coming down to the very last second. And they're able to go down to 1/100th of a second. And your winner, Ryan Anderson, Son of a Digger. Moving on to the semifinals with a time of 19.332. Your final matchup of round two, Corey Rummel, Megalodon. And in the gray lane, Mike Christensen, Vendetta. Your last competition here of the of round two. Who's moving on? Let's go green! And your winner, Corey Rummel, Megalodon. Corey Rummel, Megalodon with the time of 19.182. And our last matchup of round two moves on to the semifinals. Will they be facing off against Ryan Anderson, Son of a Digger? Making our way through the JCB racing competition, we have had ourselves a great run, but moving on to the semifinals, we have Gravedigger facing off against Thunder Roars. After that, you will see Son of a Digger facing off against Megalodon in the semifinals as we get down to our final two competitors. We're down here to our semifinals. Who's moving on to the finals? Will it be Gravedigger or will it be Thunderosaurus? As it gets set and moved to the line, it can only be one. Colt Stevens or Charlie Pocken, Gravedigger or Thunderosaurus. They get set, the lights go yellow, then they go green. And your winner, Colt Stevens, Thunderosaurus. Colt Stevens takes down Charlie Pocken and Gravedigger to move on to the finals. But we will find out who will be joining him shortly. The official time for Thunderosaurus at 18.627. And for our second matchup of the semifinals, who will be facing off against Thunderosaurus? Will it be Ryan Anderson, son of a digger? Or will it be Corey Rummel, Megalodon? There can only be one moving on. As they get set and move to the line, who will be joining Thunderosaurus in the finals? Here we go! We had ourselves another close one, El Paso, and what a fitting way to find out who will be moving on to the finals. Once again, you have the super glued to the action replay as it came down to the very end. And your winner, Ryan Anderson, son of a digger. The official time, 18.498, as he moves on to the final round to face off against Colt Stevens, Thunderosaurus. El Paso, it's time for the Monster Jam JCB Racing Finals. 12 points are on the line. So El Paso, are you ready to meet your racing finals contenders? Colt Stevens, Thunderosaurus. Facing off against Ryan Anderson, son of a digger. They move to the line and they get set, and it all comes down to this. Here we go! And your winner, Ryan Anderson, son of a digger! Fastest time of the night, El Paso. Take a look at the JCB Racing Competition Board, and that official time, 18.186. He gets his 11th JCB Racing Competition victory of the series. Also has the highest percentage in the racing competition, and that holds true once again tonight. Over 80% in this competition, and he gets another one, setting the tone for the rest of the evening. We're going to talk to him in just a short moment as he makes his way out of his truck. And I need y'all to make some noise for Ryan Anderson, son of a digger.
Congratulations to Ryan Anderson and son of a digger for winning JCB Racing. And yesterday we talked about this dirt, and we talked about the fact that it was almost like marbles. We used the term gravel road. Today it seems completely different. Did you have to change up your mindset here in racing?
100%. This track got crazy. It got ruts. It got bumpy. And yeah, this thing's a Monster Jam truck, no doubt about it. But the track was getting crazy. I had my man right here, Bryce, in my ear. Let me know what the track conditions were like, what lane I should go in. But, man, that last round was a dogfight, man. Colt, hats off to you, man. You were killing it, but I wasn't letting out that round. I was wrecking or winning. That was my only two options. But, hey, Monster Jam, you know what we're doing. We're not here just for racing. We got two more competitions comes up. And, hey, El Paso, I don't even know how long we've been coming here, but I know for my whole life we've been coming to El Paso. And we don't come here because y'all are calm. Get rowdy, El Paso. Who's ready for some more Monster Jam?
Well, congratulations to Ryan Anderson, son of a digger. He gets the first 12 points of the night, setting the tone in the JCB Racing competition with another victory. And he comes in with the highest winning percentage and, of course, holds that true. So we have to see how things shake up on the points in the standings so far. Take a look at the video board right there. Now you see Ryan Anderson has those first 12 points, leading it all. Now Colt Stevens has 11. He's currently in second place, just 1 point behind. Corey Rummel, Megalodon, and Charlie Pock and Gravedigger is right there at 3 and 4. You got a veteran Soldier of Fortune at 8 and 7, so a strong start for the rest of the field. But we're going to see if Ryan Anderson, he's at the top, and can he hang on throughout the rest of the event? Coming up next, well, it is one of my favorite competitions that you will see, and that is the Great Clips Skills Challenge. So we'll take a look at what will be coming up in that competition as we move forward throughout the rest of Monster Jam. First move you see there is bicycle. You will also see an array of plenty of moves as well. The wow factor, the technical moves with 12 of the best drivers in the world. They're getting on two wheels. They're also going to be spinning, and they have 2 attempts. You see them flying through the sky, and this is what Monster Jam is all about. It's going to be so much fun for y'all out here in El Paso, and excited to get that competition started here shortly. It'll be your second competition coming up next. Great Clips Skills Competition.
So right now, I'm here with a very awesome fan that is wearing a very cool hoodie. What is your name?
Anthony Killings,
And how old are you?
11.
11. So Anthony, what we're going to do is we're going to play Truckin' Pals. So it's an animated race, and you have to pick which truck is going to win. Will it be El Toro Loco? Will it be Gravedigger? Or will it be Megalodon? You ready?
Yes.
All right, let's take a look at the video board and see which truck is going to win. Toro looks ready. So does Gravedigger. Oh, look at those shark teeth. And you're off. And it looks like Megalodon is pulling up in first. Oh, but Gravedigger's getting in there. He's getting very close. Megalodon in the lead. Oh, boy, who's going to win this race? Let's go. Let's see. And it's Toro Loco! El Toro Loco! Good choice. And just for picking El Toro Loco, we're giving you a miniature die-cast Mr. El Toro Loco truck from Spin Master. Are you excited?
Yeah. Yes.
And you can pick up your own version at any of our local retailers. Spin Master, Epic Trucks, Epic Stunts, Monster Jam!
And Monster Jam fans, right between competitions, there is no time to relax when it comes to our UNOH technicians and crew chiefs. You can see behind me Shelby Fisher with Thunder Roars, making sure that that fuel cap is on it tight, making sure that fuel cell is all set to go. Inside that fuel cell is going to be methanol fuel. That's what these trucks run on. So all of our technicians making sure everything is topped off. They're making sure they test the transmission, make sure temperatures are A-OK for the Great Clips Skills Challenge. Right now, we've got at least 11 Monster Jam trucks ready for action, still working on Velociraptor in the back. I will tell you guys more as the story unfolds. However, I have been told that it is motor issues, so we're hoping for the best, but definitely not ideal for Team Throttle Monster.
On the first attempt, he goes for a bicycle. He has one attempt remaining.
Let's put those paws together for Monster Mutt, Chris Kohler. All right, El Paso, you know what to do. It's time to scan the QR code on the video board and lock in those scores now.
Chris Kohler, Monster Mutt, you see him go for 2 bicycles on those attempts, and he has a big task out there as this is a brand new track for these drivers. He also has to deal with the track conditions as well, as they play out differently as all the other drivers have run through them through racing. So he has a tough position there to set the tone. That is Chris Kohler and Monster Mutt. Now he is kicking off this competition, and I'm curious to see what you guys thought about that, El Paso. Lock in those scores, judgeszone.com. Still looking for his first Skills Challenge competition victory of the series as he gets a starter now here in El Paso. The score for Chris Kohler, Monster Mutt, 2.924. From Leicester, Massachusetts, Joe Foley, El Toro Loco. We see the first attempt for Joe Foley, El Toro Loco. He has one more remaining.
Let's see those horns in the air for Joe Foley, El Toro Loco. El Paso, remember you have 20 seconds to get those scores locked in for Joe Foley in El Toro Loco.
Joe Foley, El Toro Loco, coming out here swinging as well. You see a beautiful slap wheelie on that first attempt, going all the way across the track. After that, he spices it up a little bit, adding some theatrics with the slap wheelie, and then going into a stoppie, into a moonwalk on that ramp. Will it be enough to take the top spot? It is up to you. Get those scores in, judgeszone.com. And the score for Joe Foley, El Toro Loco, is 8.629. You got a new leader, El Toro Loco. From Orlando, Florida, Barry Moosehour, Zombie.
The king of donuts and Halloween, it's Barry Moosehour, Zombie. El Paso, you have 20 seconds to get those scores locked in.
Barry Moosehour hitting the donuts out there in Zombie. You know, the 2023 Donut of the Year award winner. He's also the Guinness World Record holder for most donuts in 1 minute. And the way that man was spinning, why not go into it? Gets into that rotation tight, holding it steady, and you just hear that engine revving, picking up speed. Will it be enough to take the top spots? Let's find out. The score for Barry Moosehour, Zombie, is 7.834. Good enough for second place currently in the competition. El Toro Loco remains your leader. Make some noise for Camden Murphy, Bakugan Dragonoid. Pulling off the tombstone moonwalk, he has one attempt remaining.
Let's make some noise for Camden Murphy, Bakugan Dragonoid. It's time to scan the QR code up on the video board and lock in those scores, El Paso.
Bakugan Dragonoid Camden Murphy. Take a look at the super glued to the action replay. Tombstone Moonwalk, just holding it steady there, trying to get this top spot in the competition. And that is just a fantastic move from that young man out there. Will it be enough to get him on top? Let's find out. The score for Camden Murphy Bakugan Dragonoid is 6.353. Currently third place in the competition. Joe Foley, El Toro Loco still remains your leader. Mr. Excitement, Jim Kohler, Avenger. He goes for a maximum moonwalk attempt on that first maneuver. He still has one attempt remaining.
Let's make some noise for Avenger! El Paso, it's time to scan the QR code and lock in those scores for Jim Kohler's Avenger.
Jim Kohler, Avenger, trying to take the top spot as well. You see he goes for a sky wheelie, hitting the pod, getting some air on that second attempt. On the first one, he was trying to go for a move there that just did not pan out. You see the tire slipped out from him and was unable to get the traction that he needed. We'll see if that is an issue moving forward in the competition. The score for Jim Kohler, Avenger, is 5.285, currently fourth in the competition. Joe Foley, El Toro Loco, still remains your leader currently. Caleb Blood, Soldier Fortune. She has one attempt remaining.
Put your hands together for Caleb Blood, Soldier Fortune. El Paso, it is your time to shine. It's time to lock those scores now for Caleb Blood and Soldier Fortune.
Caleb Blood, Soldier Fortune. You just see there on the super glued to the action replay, trying to get into the stoppie coming off of the ramp. Got the traction she needed, just a little bit more of a bite than she probably expected, and it just turned over. She had a great run on the first attempt. So let's see if El Paso, I'm curious to see what you guys think as we lock in those scores. JudgesZone.com. And the score for Caleb Blood, Soldier Fortune, is 7.428. Currently third in the competition. Joe Foley, El Toro Loco, still remains your leader.
Here in the skills challenge, what's going to matter most is going to be the track conditions out here, and they're constantly changing. In racing, we saw them change from round to round. Here they are quite literally changing from truck to truck. When you think about a 12,000-pound Monster Jam truck hitting one of these ramps, that dirt is really compounding. It's kind of busting off, and when you see something like that happen, it completely changes the dimensions of the ramp and the way that these drivers have to go about hitting it. What's really interesting, though, is you've got drivers that are watching their competitors. That's the greatest thing about Pitted right here on the track, is you've got a lot of drivers that are able to watch their other competitors, so they're able to kind of one-up or see what works, what doesn't. But what matters most is the way that this track is feeling. When I spoke to Ryan Anderson and Son of a Digger, he said it's doing a lot of running up, and what that means is there's kind of holes in this track out here. So it'll be interesting whether these drivers take these ruts head on or they try to avoid them and see what they can do. But nonetheless, I can guarantee you there is so much more action here in this skills challenge.
From Ogden, Utah, the captain of Team Throttle Monster, El Paso, put those hands together. From Mike Christensen, Vendetta. We're halfway through the Great Clip Skills competition as he gets set. Your 7th competitor moving out to the track. And let's see what he has plans for us. Mike Christensen, Vendetta.
Fox looking to make you dizzy. It's Mike Christensen, Vendetta. El Paso, you have 20 seconds to get those scores locked in, so scan the QR code up on the video board. Mike Christensen, Vendetta, coming out here spinning as well, doing a donut run. We saw that from Bari Musauer and Zombie. And Vendetta says, I want to get in on the spinning action as well. You see him kicking up the dust there on the track. It is changing conditions consistently, just as Lindsay, our pit reporter, said. Of course, keep you updated with everything on the track conditions and things behind the scenes. The score for Vendetta is 5.050. Currently 6th place in the competition. Joe Foley, El Toro Loco, still remains your leader in the Great Clip Skills Challenge. From North Jackson, Ohio, Corey Rummel, Megalodon. We see a stopping attempt on the first attempt. He has one more remaining. Put your fins together for Corey Romo, Megalodon! El Paso, when you see that BKT tire, slide it up or down and lock those scores now.
Corey Rummel, Megalodon, with 2 attempts out there on the track. And I was curious to see if he would go for a donut run there or if he would go for some maneuvers out there with the track. You saw all the dust get kicked up when Vendetta went before him. So those track conditions, as I said, are changing out here with the weather as it cools down through the night. Let's see what the score for Corey Rummel, Megalodon, is 4.664, currently 7th place in the competition. Joe Foley, El Toro Loco still remains your leader with the 8.629. From the Lone Star State, coming from Houston, Texas, Colt Stevens, Thunder Roaris. We see one attempt. He still has one more remaining. Thunder Roaris.
Let's put those claws together for Colt Stevens, Thunder Roaris. If you liked how that Apex Predator did his job in the skills challenge, it's time to lock those scores now at judgeszone.com.
Taking a look at the super glued to the action replay. He gets all the way on his side with a bicycle. You know, we saw him finish off one of his racing runs with that bicycle as well. Whether that was unintentional or not, he does it again out here in this competition. Will it be enough to get that top spot from Joe Foley in El Toro Loco? Let's find out. The score for Thunder Roaris is coming up just short. 8.309 is good enough for second place currently in this competition. But as you see there on the Great Clips Skills Challenge leaderboard, Joe Foley, El Toro Loco, has been hanging on with the 8.629. But we still have 2 competitors remaining. The Monster Jam legend. He's competed in El Paso 4 years in a row. He says that this is his favorite stop. And when you have a Monster Jam legend, that means you need to put him in a legendary Monster Jam truck. Give it up for Charlie Pocken, Gravedigger.
Put your hands together for Charlie Pocken, Gravedigger. El Paso, it's time to lock those scores in now, so scan the QR code on the video board.
Charlie Pocken, Gravedigger, right in the bicycle all the way across the track. I thought he was going to be able to save it and pull it off. Just unfortunately goes to the other side of those BKT tires and was unable to get the balance he needed to get back on all four tires. One attempt, but will it be enough to take over this top spot? Joe Foley is hold on. That is El Toro Loco. He was your second competitor, and we are now to the second last competitor. Will he take it? The score to beat is 8.629. And the score for Gravedigger is... one attempt, and it does not matter. You have a new leader, 9.083. Charlie Pocken, Gravedigger.
I can guarantee that Charlie Pocken and Gravedigger wasn't necessarily hoping to finish like that, but still a really great run. I saw you throw your hands up in the air, but you watched him. You're a fan of him, of course. But, you know, when you see somebody really here, we've got to take 2 attempts. And your first attempt, absolutely incredible. It didn't seem that these fans really liked the second one.
Yeah, you know, it is what it is. I didn't like the second one either, honestly. I mean, that MJU truck, we've been working so hard to try to make that thing up to 110%. My crew chief Craig and all these UNOH technicians have worked so hard to make sure that thing is as good as we can make it. Unfortunately, reverse is just a little bit sloppy in that truck, so couldn't quite get it in reverse in time to get it up off that pod there. But hey, you know what? It is what it is. And all that matters is if you El Paso Monster Jam fans are having fun. Let me hear you guys having a good time.
Your final competitor in the competition. You saw him take the JCB Racing victory. Can he get another one? Ryan Anderson, son of a digger.
Put your hands together for Ryan Anderson, son of a digger. Remember to use the code ELP at judgeszone.com and lock in those scores, El Paso.
Ryan Anderson, son of a digger, going for the tombstone moonwalk. He was trying to pull off a wow factor there to get that lead. Now, when you risk it, you know, sometimes it doesn't pay off. I thought he was going to be able to save that as well. Just gets over-rotated. But El Paso, it is up to you. Lock in those scores at judgeszone.com. The score for Ryan Anderson, son of a digger, is 6.846, which means that your winner in the Great Clips Skills Competition is Charlie Pocken, Gravedigger. Your 10th competitor in the competition in just his second weekend of competition as he makes his return to Gravedigger. Charlie Pocken gets the victory, stealing it away from Joe Foley, El Toro Loco. He held it throughout the rest of the heat. And El Paso, here's the thing. He had a great run there going for the bicycle across the dirt. And we're curious to see if, I mean, what I'm hearing is we're looking for Charlie right now. Gets his first competition victory, making his return. So, El Paso, help us out. If y'all can make some noise for Charlie, trying to get him out here. Charlie, you won this thing, man. You made his return. Getting word, waiting to see if we can find Charlie Pockin. He's competed here 4 years in a row. Of course, that was in Monster Mud, and then last year he was in El Toro Loco. Makes his return in Stadium Championship Series West in Gravedigger. It just gets the competition victory, his first one of the season. So El Paso, one more time, if y'all make enough noise, I think that we can get him back out here on the track. El Paso, give it up for Charlie Pockin, Gravedigger!
There he is doing that Chucky dance. Your first competition win here on Stadium Series West behind the wheel of Gravedigger. Doesn't it feel like that's where you belong?
It feels great to be back here, back amongst El Paso, these great Monster Jam fans, and behind a digger wheel, for sure. There's nothing like going out here and doing stuff in a digger. It just feels right.
And up next is freestyle. First, we've got halftime, but for freestyle, this track is going to be incredible. It's something new. Could you guys see that maybe it's going to be a little bit challenging? I know that we've got that gap here, but how else do you think you can innovate this season?
That's just it. There's a lot going on here. The track is totally different. I say it's a very technical track because you never know. You might clear some stuff. You might end up not. You might get in buck. It's going to be very tricky. I'm going to even sit back and watch everyone go, try and figure out exactly what to do. You learn from the other drivers, and you kind of critique it.
Well, congratulations on the Great Clips Skills Challenge win. And Monster Jam fans, there is so much more where that came from, but let me hear you for Charlie Pockin in Gravedigger.
The drivers have been talking about coming here to El Paso all weekend long, and you are not letting us down. You are bringing that energy, and we love to hear it. But, at this time, I think we just need to take a little break. It's okay to have a little breather. It is officially halftime. So if you want to make your way to the concessions or maybe stop by the merch stands, pick up the latest Spin Master, feel free to do so. But don't worry, we still have more Monster Jam coming your way, including Monster Jam Freestyle. We'll be right back to you. It's Monster Jam.
Now we have reached the pinnacle of the evening. This is Monster Jam Freestyle!
Clock is paused at 19 seconds. See if he continues his run here. Looks like he's continuing. Keeping that clock running.
Let's give it up for Mike Christensen, Vendetta. El Paso, you have 20 seconds to lock those scores now at judgeszone.com.
Mike Christensen kicking us off in the second half of Monster Jam. And take a look at the super glued to the action replay. Once again, lock in those scores at judgeszone.com, code ELP. It is all up to you. Using the entirety of the track, making his way around, getting some beautiful height, making the jumps, and setting the tone for the rest of the competition. Let's see the score for Mike Christensen. Vendetta is 5.059, getting us started in Monster Jam Freestyle. He has the most freestyle victories in the series, Joe Foley, El Toro Loco.
No matador can withstand the power of Joe Foley, El Toro Loco. El Paso, you have 20 seconds to get those scores locked in for Joe Foley's run in El Toro Loco.
His nickname this season has been Joe Loco. And you see that man is crazy out there. It's so fitting to be in the crazy bull of El Toro Loco. Leaving it on the line, just going over. What a run from that man. Getting height, getting some speed. It just goes over. Unable to get the save. Thought he had it for 1 second. But Joe is always keeping you on your feet. Taking a look at the super glued to the action replay. Just hitting a bit of everything there on that run. The former firefighter bringing the heat. Will it be enough to take the top spot? El Paso, let's find out. The score for Joe Foley, El Toro Loco, is... Put him at the top. 8.030. Now, he did have that point deduction. He was unable to complete the minute or get down to under a minute on that run. So that point deduction was added to the score, but he still has it 8.030. And he takes over the lead for Mike Christensen, Vendetta. That's Joe Foley, El Toro Loco, your current leader in Monster Jam Freestyle. He took the Great Clips Skills competition victory, his first of the series. Does he have another? Charlie Pocken, Gravedigger. 19 seconds pause on the clock. Pulling off the Morgan & Morgan backflip. He's going to try to refire El Paso. Does he have more left in this run? You hear the engine running. He's back. Let's go, Charlie Parkin, Gravedigger.
With one foot in the gas and one in the grave is Charlie Parkin, Gravedigger. El Paso, you have 20 seconds to get those scores locked in for Charlie Parkin in Gravedigger.
Charlie Parkin, Gravedigger is just feeling it tonight. Morgan & Morgan backflips, getting some air, pulling off a ton of moves out there on the track. Will it be enough? He took the lead from Joe Foley in our last competition. Does he do it again? Let's find out. The score for Charlie Parkin. I'm going to give it a second. Charlie's feeling it. Give it up for Charlie Parkin, Gravedigger, doing the Chucky dance. All right, Charlie, let's go ahead. Let's take a look at the score with El Paso. The score for Charlie Parkin, Gravedigger, is... You got a new leader. 9.492, Charlie Parkin, Gravedigger. Let's talk through this epic freestyle, y'all. Take a look at the super glued to the action replay. Man, I thought that was legendary UTEP running back Aaron Jones, the way he was tearing up the track out there. He was right here in the Sun Bowl. He says, this is my home. I guess he might be a UTEP minor as well. Charlie Parkin taking us back in time. Two-time stadium champion. And he's showing why. He needs to be in that legendary truck out there, Gravedigger. Charlie, he's dancing. He's bringing out the moves out here, and that was a great run in freestyle. Once again, your current leader in Monster Jam Freestyle, Charlie Parkin, Gravedigger. Of course, he comes from the lineage of Gravedigger. Your next competitor from Kill Devil Hills, North Carolina, Ryan Anderson, son of a digger. Clock pause at 66 seconds, and he does it right in front of that backflip ramp. Looks like he gets fired up. And we're still going.
Let's make some noise for Ryan Anderson, son of a digger. El Paso, it's time to use that BKT tire at judgeszone.com and score now.
Ryan Anderson, son of a digger, trying to get that top spot with a great run. Of course, goes for the Morgan and Morgan backflip. Was unable to get the save, but nonetheless, what a great run from Ryan Anderson. Of course, he is your points leader in the series so far, and he's still trying to hold that top spot tonight. Is he able to take over the lead from Charlie Pocken Gravedigger? Let's find out. The score for Ryan Anderson, son of a digger, is... not enough. 8.645. He's current second place in Monster Jam Freestyle. Charlie Pocken Gravedigger has that top spot with the 9.492. And keep it going for Colt Stevens, Thunder Roris. Lining up for the Morgan and Morgan backflip. Clock is paused at 13 seconds, and I'm getting word that he is finished. Head on over to judgeszone.com to lock in those scores and put those hands together for Colt Stevens, Thunder Roris. He says, "What's up, El Paso?" Making his way out of that window. Trying to get that top spot as well. The 2023 Freestyle World Champion. Does he have enough to take over the top spot here in El Paso? Let's take a look at the super glued to the action replay. Great distance, hitting all those jumps, and pulls it off with the Morgan and Morgan backflip at the end. Can he take the top spot? Let's find out. The score for Colt Stevens, Thunder Roris, is 8.445. Currently third place in the competition. Charlie Pocken Gravedigger still remains your leader in Monster Jam Freestyle.
Monster Jam fans, we've got a look here back in what we call the cold pits. That's going to be back behind the stadium where we've got all of our haulers. And you guys can take a look here where we've got Soldier Fortune in the very back, Kayla Blood waiting soon to be able to come to the track for freestyle. What you're seeing there is her crew getting all set. But what it was there was a burnt out transmission. It was just kind of, it's time to go. These 2-speed power glide transmissions are really extremely durable, but eventually they just go, and eventually these parts just wear out. When you think about the fact that these trucks are running 1,500 horsepower on these transmissions, so it did burn out, but our technicians were able to get it repaired in less than 25 minutes once it was finally back here in the hauler. So what you're seeing is a steady Soldier Fortune, and she is definitely ready to hit the track. Something you should know about Kayla Blood is she says when she comes here and she is a competitor amongst all of these men that she's ready to hit the track, and she thinks that she is the most comfortable one out here. She also mentioned that having some heavy hitters such as Ryan Anderson, Charlie Pocken going ahead of her, that she thinks that gives her even more of an advantage because she already knows how to hit each ramp and she already knows exactly how the truck is going to respond. So any minute now, Kayla Blood and Soldier Fortune will be cleared and ready to come through this tunnel.
The 2023 Co-Rookie of the Year, Chris Kohler, Monster Mutt. Got another Morgan & Morgan backflip coming at you. Four seconds pause on the clock, seeing if they're still going to give him time to run. Chris Kohler, Monster Mutt, able to pull off the Morgan & Morgan backflip. You hear him refire. He's trying to move. Can he do it? 4 seconds left. Getting word from the officials. They're talking to him, seeing if he still wants to go there with the 4 seconds, if he's able to refire. And getting word that he is done. El Paso, put your hands together for Chris Kohler, Monster Mutt. Head on over to judgeszone.com. One freestyle victory on the series so far and has another strong run there. Being able to pull off the Morgan & Morgan backflip as well, coming on all four BKT tires, pulling it down nice and safely on the track. Thought he might have had some time to refire there, but he saved it for the end. Can he take the top spot? Let's find out. The score for Monster Mutt is 8.525, currently third in the Monster Jam Freestyle competition. Gravedigger still remains your leader. From Lafayette, Louisiana, Kayla Blood, Soldier Fortune. "30 seconds paused on the clock. Going to see if she can refire. Will she be able to continue?
Put your hands together for Kayla Blood, Soldier Fortune. El Paso, it's time to use the code ELP at judgeszone.com and score now.
Kayla Blood was flying around that track. Just a speedy driver. You know, I have a flight back to San Antonio on Monday, and honestly, I might just hop in the truck with her because that girl was flying around the dirt. So much fun to watch. The former ATV superstar turned Monster Jam superstar with a great freestyle run. Will it be enough to take the top spot? Well, let's find out. The score for Kayla Blood, Soldier Fortune, is 7.870. Currently sixth place in the competition. Charlie Pock and Gravedigger still remains your leader in Monster Jam Freestyle.
Joined by Colt Stevens and Thunder Roris. And the reason that matters is not because he got a great run out here for freestyle, but also because he is your World Finals freestyle champion. You know, Colt, coming from an expert like you, what have you been watching with your competitors?
Yeah, it's definitely this track right now. Watching the transfers, watching these drivers that can actually make those big gaps. This is a lot. We're at altitude here, so these trucks are a little bit lazier than we're used to, so these drivers have to compensate. And that's something that each of us are watching. So as we keep going later and later in runs, you're going to see these drivers go bigger and bigger because we're seeing what the trucks can actually do.
And early on, basically, as soon as racing started, you and Ryan Anderson and Son of a Digger both telling me that it felt like a gravel road out here. Did it still feel like that in freestyle, or has it changed up? Are there ruts? What can we expect for other competitors?
Oh, there's no doubt about it. That track out there is unpredictable. Some spots is loose, and then some spots there's ruts and holes. And you get caught up in your BKT over there and end up on your roof really easily. So you have to be very careful not to fall off in those holes, catch a rut, and end up on your lid. You got to fill that time so you don't get as many points as you possibly can. So you got to be very careful. And the track is definitely one of our biggest competitions out there, is beating that.
And lastly, I talked about it a little bit of the fact that we had some heavy hitters come out first, you being one of them. But of course, we had Ryan, like I mentioned, and Son of a Digger. We also had Charlie Pocket lay down a great run. Do you think that actually gives an advantage to maybe Jim Kohler in Avenger, who's going to be finishing out the event, and competitors in between that?
Yeah, I definitely think that's an advantage. You see the best of the best go out there and hit these ramps. Like I said, this is the first time we've seen this track this year, so you get the opportunity to see the best of the best hit them, and you can build off that and go out for an epic freestyle.
Thank you so much for your time, Colt. Monster Jam fans, make some noise for your World Finals freestyle champion, Colt Stevens and Thunder Roris.
Ladies and gentlemen, third in the series points with 69 points at the total at the start of this competition. He was also the 2023 Stadium Freestyle of the Year award winner, and he's going to need another great freestyle run tonight to get that top spot. Can he do it? Camden Murphy, Bakugan Dragonoid. And he's lining up for the Morgan & Morgan backflip. Will he pull it off?
It's a Spin Master toy come to life. Camden Murphy, Bakugan Dragonoid. Remember, El Paso, you have 20 seconds to lock in those scores for Camden Murphy and Bakugan Dragonoid.
Camden Murphy, Bakugan Dragonoid, finishing that Monster Jam freestyle run strong, pulling off the Morgan & Morgan backflip, and then, of course, throwing it into a moonwalk afterwards. And then he says, you know what, I'm going to go for some distance. UTEP, it's the only school where the stadium and campus are built into the mountains, and honestly, I thought he could have cleared it with that distance he was getting out there. But will it be enough to take the top spot from Charlie Pock and Gravedigger? Let's find out. The score for Camden Murphy, Bakugan Dragonoid is coming up just short, 8.950. Currently second in Monster Jam Freestyle. Hearing some oohs and ahs from the fans. Remember, that score is up to you guys. JudgesZone.com. We're counting on you to score. It is up to you. You will crown our overall event champion. If you don't like the score, you have the power to change it at JudgesZone.com. So that was a close run there. Let's take a look at the freestyle competition leaderboard. Take a look up top. He's still holding on, 9.492. Chucky Pocken holding that lead in Gravedigger. Now you had Camden Murphy come out there with a strong freestyle finish. The 8.950 puts him at second. That is Bakugan Dragonoid. Ryan Anderson, son of a digger, with the 8.645. He's currently in third. And then Chris Kohler, Monster Mutt, with the 8.525. Those are your top four in the competition. And we still have more drivers remaining in Monster Jam Freestyle. Put those fins together, El Paso, for Corey Rummel, Megalodon. Lining up for the Morgan & Morgan backflip.
Let's see those shark bites for Corey Rummel, Megalodon. El Paso, it's time to scan the QR code and lock in those scores now.
Corey Rummel, Megalodon, hitting the Morgan & Morgan backflip. Looks like he came back, and there he is, making his way, saying hello to El Paso, hanging out the window. He's having a good time, but we hope you are as well. Locking the scores, judgeszone.com. Pulling off the Morgan & Morgan backflip, just having some breakage, unable to complete. Let's go ahead and take a look. Will he have enough? The score for Corey Rummel, Megalodon, is 8.492, currently fifth place in the competition. Charlie Pock and Gravedigger still remains your leader in Monster Jam Freestyle. Down to our final two competitors. So let them hear ya. It's Bari Moosauer, Zombie. Lining up, Morgan and Morgan, backflip.
Put those zombie arms up for Barry Musera in Zombie. Remember, El Paso, you have 20 seconds to get those scores locked in, so scan the QR code on the video board.
Barry Musauer Zombie, your second to last competitor in this competition with a great run there. Goes for the Morgan and Morgan backflip, pulls it off, so close to saving it afterwards. Those back two BKT tires were spinning, but was unable to get back on all 4 feet. Will it be enough to take over the top spot? The score for Zombie is good enough for second place in the competition, but that is second place in Monster Jam Freestyle. Charlie Pock and Gravedigger still remains atop of the leaderboard, so let's take a look at that. As you see there with the 9.492, Charlie Pocken hanging on.
El Paso, the moment you've been waiting for. Freestyle's been crazy. We got one more truck. The two-time Jim Kohler Avenger!
The Morgan and Morgan backflip. Here he goes. Four seconds paused on the clock. 4 seconds remain. The same thing we saw with Chris Kohler, his son. It repeats itself again. 4 seconds on the clock paused. The Kohlers out there loving that 4 seconds. Can he refire? Will he be able to go? You hear it refiring. He does have 4 seconds. Let's see how he finishes.
All right, El Paso, give it up for Jim Kohler, Avenger. Remember, you have 20 seconds to get those scores locked in for Jim Kohler in Avenger.
He's not even out of the window. He says, I am getting out of the truck. 4 seconds for Mr. Excitement, and that's why they call him Mr. Excitement, bringing it there at the end. Just getting distance, getting into a bicycle, and he says, you know what, I'm just going to go ahead and park this thing as well so I can watch to see if I take this top spot. Jim Kohler, Avenger, This is your last competitor. He came second in freestyle last week. Can he take over the top spot? The last driver here in El Paso. Let's find out. The score for Avenger is... not enough. 9.310 coming up just short. Coming up just short there at the end. You see Jim Kohler hugging it out. So that means that your winner in Monster Jam Freestyle and your overall event champion is Charlie Parkin, Gravedigger! Charlie Parkin putting on an event here in El Paso. The last time that he drove in Gravedigger in El Paso, he got the victory 4 years ago, and he repeats again. He said he was bringing that energy. He said he was going to put on an event for all of you fans, and he does it. Filling in for Adam Anderson, just joining us in the second week. You see all the drivers around him. El Paso, give it up for Charlie Parkin, Gravedigger!
Congratulations to Charlie Parkin in Gravedigger, who has now won an overall event championship. And Charlie, this was not done by just beating around the bush. You had to work for this so hard. 37 years of Monster Jam. What makes this moment worth it?
Oh, man, it's definitely the Monster Jam fans coming here year after year. They are the ones that make this history, you know. I love each and every one of them for it. It's great. They come up, they do the Chucky dance for me, with me, taking pictures. They are the ones that drive me. Hats off to you, El Paso. You guys rock the place. I love you. Woo!
Well, congratulations to Charlie Parkin, Gravedigger. He gets the overall event championship, and he's just one step closer to earning the automatic bid to Monster Jam World Finals. He's dancing out there. It makes me want to dance. And Karina, I know you're with the fans out there. How's it going for you, Karina?
It was an absolute blast. As you can see, everyone had a lot of fun. Did you have fun?
Yes.
I know, I had fun too. El Paso, muchísimas gracias por tenerme aquí este fin de semana. Me divertí muchísimo. Our athletes had a blast, giving you their best shot at this competition here tonight.
Of course, yeah, they had a good time. I saw them doing the wave, and they brought that energy. El Paso, I really want to thank you guys. My first stadium here, and it's in my great state, in my home state of Texas, a San Antonio boy, living out his dreams. I want to thank you guys. I want to thank John Saponaro, a team behind the scenes, and, of course, Karina, and I want to thank Lindsay as well behind the scenes. My name is Ray Villarreal, and that was Monster Jam.